Welcome to our program on Kardec Radio.
Hello, beloved friends, and welcome to another Divine Loss program. Tonight, in celebration of a new phase in humanity. What is this new phase deriving from, or where is it deriving from? From the very publication of the Spirit's book by Allan Kardec. Today, we celebrate the anniversary of its publication. Its publication took place in Paris 166 years ago, to be exact, on April 18th. The very foundation of the Spiritist philosophy approach as a science and as a religion, an ethical moral code that brings back the promised consoler, the Christ consciousness in all of its purity, derives from the book. So, how did Kardec, in his wisdom, inspired by the very Christ's team, organize the book? The book is comprised, beloved friends, of, to be exact, we will fact check, to be exact, the book is comprised of 119 questions. All questions are asked by Kardec, and the answers come from the illuminated spirits. The illuminated spirits are part of the team of the Spirit of Truth. The Spirit of Truth represents the Christ consciousness on earth. Some of the spirits who communicated were Saint Vincent de Paul, Socrates, Plato, Fenelon, Emmanuel, Swedenborg, Benjamin Franklin, and the Spirit of Truth itself. The book is wisdom in its finest. In its 1,019 questions, beloved friends, we are blessed to find any answer for which we are searching an answer. The book is divided, dear friends, in 4 parts. Part 1 focuses on helping us to understand God and the universe. Part 2 focuses in helping us understand the relationship between ourselves and the spirit world. The third part focuses on the very divine laws, the ethical moral code that guides us on earth through the very presence of our governor. Master Jesus promised that he would send us the promised consoler, and here it is. We are blessed to celebrate 166 years of its publication on earth. And the fourth part of the Spirit's book focuses, beloved friends, on hopes and solaces. So we would like to pay homage and gratitude to Kardec and to the teenage mediums that served as instruments for the source of great wisdom to be materialized on the earth, because through it we find the exact guidance that we are looking for. In addition, no longer do we have to choose between faith and reason, thanks to Kardec's efforts, guided by the governor of our planet, and of course, according to the will of God, we can reason our faith. This is the very purpose for Kardec having organized the Spirit's book in the question and answer format. He used very wisely the Socratic method, inviting us to do the same, to investigate the knowledge that is being offered to us. When we study the Spiritist science, dear friends, and its moral, ethical consequences, we no longer have to accept something or the truth just because dogmatically. We now accept it because we understand it. We are blessed to be able to rationalize our faith. And Spiritism is so avant garde that now material science is beginning to quote unquote walk hand in hand with the Spiritist science. For example, Kardec addresses the presence of the universal fluid. And now we know of quantum physics. We know that anything that is material physically is nothing but denser energy. And now science, material science, also recognizes the fact that there is energy, there is more than the eyes can see. And Kardec documented this reality in 1857. What is beautiful about the Spirit's book as well is that it reveals to us the relationship, the ongoing relationship between the physical realm and the spiritual realm. It also reveals the reasons why we come to the physical realm. We know the purposes of reincarnation through the Spirit's book. We know that we reincarnate to learn and to redress possible choices that we have made in the past that need to be redressed. So we learned, beloved friends, through the Spirit's book for the first time in the history of humanity that reincarnation is a true blessing, for instance, because we are not here to be punished. We are not here to be either in eternal quote unquote hell according to our choices, or a heaven where we play harps as portrayed in movies that we might have seen. No, we know that we are reincarnated to progress through the law of work, and that we reincarnate for very optimistic, hopeful reasons, because God believes in our ability to constantly learn and to redress situations where now we are better equipped to make better choices, to make wiser choices. So, what a blessing, dear friends, it is for us to have all of this literally within the reach of our hands. Let us now utilize our very phone to show everyone connected to us that it is possible for us to explore this eternal wisdom literally through our fingertips in seconds. Yes, Felipe. Hello, dear friends. We are truly, truly, truly blessed, right, Felipe, to have all these eternal treasures literally within the reach of our hands. We will now open the Spirit's book, which is available for us electronically, literally within the reach of our fingertips, to see how we can find the answer to any question here. For instance, for the first time, we have an explanation of the first question of the Spirit's book. What is God? Oftentimes in our history as humanity, we have perceived God as someone in the clouds, for instance, or we have perceived God as someone pointing fingers at us. We have even given, at times, as we progressed, a human figure to God. But the enlightened spirits working with Kardec give us an extremely unique definition that may redefine our very relationship with God. This very first question guides us in this direction. Let us read it. Question number 1. In question number 1, Kardec asks, what is God? He doesn't ask, dear friends, who is God? He asks, what is God? Kardec is very open minded, so he doesn't confine God to the human characteristics to which we attach ourselves. He expands this understanding by the nature of the very question that he asks, what is God? And the answer is concise and yet very transformative for you and I, for all of us. Kardec, the illuminated spirits, answer as follows. God is the supreme intelligence, the first cause of all things. So we know that nothing happens without the consent, the loving presence of God. And we know that God is the first cause of all things. So there isn't anything within us or around us that does not derive from God. How beautiful to realize, beloved friends, that literally everyone and everything is divine. So we already receive a confirmation of God's wisdom and God's love right from the very question. The first question, right from the very first question. Let us now randomly select another question for us to read together so that we can experience a little more of the wisdom that is presented to us that will help us to continue to progress not only in this life but in lives to come. Let us see here. Okay. Question 62, we opened right there. Kardec asks, what is the cause of the animation of matter? So Kardec wants to investigate with his very scientific mind what gives us life. And the experimenters answer in a very concise but direct and illuminated way by saying its union with the vital principle. And we know that the vital principle is created by God. So we are all literally animated by God. This is why we know that we are divine, because it's God's vital principle that literally gives us life. How beautiful it is for us to know, have another confirmation that we are divine in nature. So, this book, beloved friends, unfolds all the mysteries, lifts the veils of all the mysteries with which we have been faced previously. Now we believe because we know. And now we have hope in our own progress and, as we said, our very own divine nature, because question after question after question, we have a confirmation of God's love for us. In fact, this very book is a quote unquote proof, if we could put it this way, of God's love, because God allowed the divine laws to be brought to earth in ways that we could understand, accessible to us, so that through knowledge, through receiving divine wisdom, we could, one, more closely feel God's love because we understand it, and two, more closely also understand how God's love operates. Three, also come to believe and understand that we are all divine in nature. Four, come to believe and understand that we constantly progress. Five, come to believe and understand that we never die, because we know now of the immortality of the soul. How beautiful, dear friends. This is a constitution of the soul, as Mentor Joseph, one of the mentors that supports and guides the Spiritus Society of Virginia and Kardec Radio, tells us. This is a constitution of the soul. And we are blessed to be reincarnated at a very time when we have access to such wisdom and such living proof of God's infinite love for all of us. So let us, dear friends, celebrate the many years of the publication of the Spirit's book, 166 years to be exact, by reading the constitution of our souls. The more we understand this constitution, the more we will come connected, we will come closer to God's love, and we will come to feel it. Let us grant us ourselves the gift of feeling God's love so closely in a rational manner, through developing a conversation with God's messengers, working through the presence of the Christ as we develop our very own Christ consciousness. Let us celebrate life by understanding God's love for each and every one of us. Now we can do this through 1,019 questions that were brought to us to change our lives, not only for now, but throughout eternity. How grateful we are to God's love, because God is constantly reminding us of our very own divine purposes. And through the constitution of our souls, we are all granted endless opportunities to continue to progress. God's love is incredible, dear friends. Let us feel it and celebrate it, and most importantly, live it by nourishing our souls together and by sharing this treasure with others as well. Shall we? This is the beautiful proposal from on high to you and I, to all of us, as we celebrate this very special anniversary tonight and always. So thank you, dear Felipe, for joining us. Thank you, Vanessa. Big kiss to you guys. Thank you, Slavik, for being here. Thank you, everyone, for celebrating God's love and wisdom through this beautiful book, through Kardec's missionary work, through the mediums that served as instruments in times when they were still teenagers, reminding us of the importance of believing in the younger generation, believing that we are all divine. Thank you, dear friends, and we look forward to seeing you again next time when we will continue to study this divine masterpiece together. What a blessing! Thank you, beloved friends. We wish you a beautiful night or day, and let us continue celebrating life with God, through God, always. Bye for now, dear friends, and many blessings.